I'm going to call this one new orientation. And so what that means is in the magnetic mind, the first thing that we're taught is how to make true choices. This will be repeated over and over again because it requires a truly big shift on your part. And you need to reorientate yourself to a new way of thinking. Don't worry, you'll have lots of help. But this must be repeated because our lives, all our lives, we've been accustomed to the problem orientation structure. Our current society is built on it, right? Our wars, our jails, our politics, our jobs, upbringing, and our work here together is to get you out of that in the creative orientation first. This is the first step, understanding the structure orientation. We discussed it in the last video. And if you hadn't had a chance to review it, I suggest you go back and start there and check it out because it's one of the foundations of our work. So in order to be in the creative orientation, we have to learn how to make true choices. You're making choices every millisecond of every day. They're small choices, so you don't even realize that you're making them. Collectively, these sets of choices have a big effect on your current reality. So you wake up in the morning, you make a choice, first with your feelings. Is it a feeling of dread or is it joy? Do you reach for your phone to check out the latest shit show on the news, or do you reach for meditation or uplifting music? Do you get up and get dressed, and when you put something on that makes you feel good about yourself, or something that reinforces that you feel like a slob? Do you look in the mirror? When you look in the mirror, do you focus on positive aspects of yourself, or do you look in the mirror and see problem spots? And you go to eat breakfast. Do you choose something that makes you feel good, or just during, or something that makes you feel good during and after? So all these decisions are going on in your mind all day long. From the moment you wake up, and there's probably so much more in your head besides just the basics that I mentioned. And the next decisions you'll likely make is in relation to your work or school or whatever the meaty part of the day consists of, that you make a living, or your job. So do you choose it by circumstance, or do you choose by creation? Is your job a job to pay the bills and have a roof over your head? Or do you do it because you love it? And, we all have to do mundane things like pay taxes, brush our teeth, and most of us do our laundry. But that's just because we're humans, and we just can't blink our eyes or wiggle our noses and the laundry gets fluffed and folded. Or there's a service for that. But you can have a service for anything you choose these days. And you can have that choice, make that choice consciously. But these are just small things, and we can choose which attitude we take when doing them. So it's okay to get irritated and annoyed and even mad at things. You're not here to just be a happy robot in one mode. You are here to experience contrast, but I'm speaking an overall orientation of your true essence. So what do you spend the majority of the day is what defines whether you're in the problem-based structure or creation-based. If it's a problem-based, if you do it, it's like the only way I know to make money. You don't have a choice. Maybe you didn't have, you didn't know what else to do. That's problem-based if you're living your life, a life of circumstance, something that you don't have much choice in doing. It seems like a lot of work to get up in the morning, make conscientious choices to reorientate yourself to putting a smile on and thinking about how excited you would feel about the day when you're used to waking up and feeling a sense of anxiety, or when you get dressed and brush your teeth, make breakfast, go to work, and glance at your phone, you get stressed. Oh, everybody's wanting something, too many questions, I'm overwhelmed. Maybe Facebook has the latest news about elections, pandemic deaths. You get to the computer and maybe you watch the emails flood in, you open a bill, right? How much power do you give these things? Ask yourself, how much power do you give something, and in return, you can feel it. You can feel that anxiety, that pressure on your shoulders. So the work we do here will change that. But you have to follow the system. You have to pick what you want to create, know what that would feel like, and be it before you see it. That's a huge, huge, huge shift, is being something before you see it. This is something that you will be spending a lot of time working on. But that's the biggest shift that you're going to make. The biggest shift is being it before you see it. So you do the 20-minute daily meditations and you fill out the daily lenses. We talked about this. And that's, and the recode, that's it. Be sure to watch the lenses video if you haven't seen it yet. So that's just, we've kind of discussed this. It's just reinforcing. So I'll call it lesson number 2.